Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World, and today I'm bringing you another one of my builds. The name of this one is going to be the Tyrannical Truck, and it is an insect glaive build. And if you guys are wondering what the theme behind this particular build was, it's like ever since I came up with the Facebuster build, I've been using it pretty much for anything that I find to be challenging or whenever I just want to kill a monster real fast. And I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and one of the weapons that I haven't played as much as I wanted to is the insect glaive, and therefore I was like, dude, I just want to do an insect glaive build that is just a build about dishing out as much damage as I can possibly squeeze out of it. As you guys know, usually I like to take a lot of utility skills with my builds. This is a little bit different. This is really just like DPS, damage, just destroy everything in your path, which is why the name is Tyrannical Truck. And with a name like that, you guys can instantly figure out what the weapon is. Yes, it is the Tyrannus Glaive 2, that beefy Diablo weapon, and we are going to be going for that Elementalist playstyle. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, depending on whether or not you got the Kul'Taroth version, which one of these two glaives is better. In my opinion, the Tyrannus Glaive 2 is better because it's got the Tier 2 decoration slot, which allows you to slot it in there for Elementalist on the weapon itself, freeing up additional slots for you to put whatever the hell you want to put in there. So, Tyrannus Glaive is the weapon, tons of damage, like the hardest hitting insect glaive, at least in my opinion. And then when it comes to augmentations, I'm going to be putting in an affinity increase and a health regen. Now, there's two reasons why I have health regen in there. One of those reasons is, let's face it, I'm a lazy bastard, pure and simple. So I don't like having to stop attacking the monster in order to heal myself. So having health regen in there just, prevents me from stopping. I can just keep going and going until I actually take a really big hit. Then I will have to stop. But usually taking little hits here and there, you can pretty much do fine with health regen. The other reason is in there is because a skill that can get you a lot of attack points is peak performance, but it does require to be at full health at all times. Therefore, health regen helps you stay at full health at all times, and I will be using peak performance on this build. Now, the very first armor piece, no doubt you guys will have identified it, is the Dragon King eye patch. I mean, let's face it, when it comes to dealing damage, there are very few skills in this game that are more useful than weakness exploit. So we got level 2 weakness exploit with the Dragon King eye patch. Then we have the Kushala Sista beta, because we are going to be getting the Tyrannus Glaive 2 white sharpness to really increase the damage as much as we possibly can. So we got those 2 points of handicraft in there. Then we got the Valhazak Braces beta. Now, there's two reasons for this one. One of those reasons is peak performance, because like I said, I want to have peak performance. The other reason is 3 level 1 decoration slots. This is one of the best pieces of gloves when it comes to decoration slots for tier 1, so it's really good to have it in there. Then we got the Nergigante Coil Beta. We're going to be going for a little bit of attack boost. Now, in my build, I actually get attack boost all the way up to level 4, but if you don't have an additional attack gem, don't worry too much about it, because you can still get a little bit more affinity through expert jewels. I'll tell you guys how to sock it if you don't have another one of those. Moving onwards, we then have Kul'Taroth's Wrath Alpha. Now, the reason I have that is because this is one of the best armor pieces if you want to get peak performance on legs. It also comes with the side effect of having wide range, which is going to make it so that when you heal or use a benefit item, it's also going to benefit your party a little bit more. So, it's good stuff. Even though, again, it's not really something that I was going for, I just want the peak performance that is in there. Then we wrap things up with the Handicraft Charm level 3. You don't necessarily have to max out Handicraft in order to get to white sharpness on the Tyrannus Glaive. 4 points are enough. However, I wanted to have the Handicraft Charm because it does provide you with a little bit more leeway as to when you have to sharpen. Not too much, but a little bit more. And just with the other parts that I wanted to have in the build, the Handicraft Charm felt like the most solid choice. Then when it comes to mantles and tools and stuff, one of the things that I would definitely recommend is the Rocksteady Mantle, unless you're fighting monsters that require other things, like if you're fighting Valhazak, I will always take Immunity Mantle. If you're fighting Teostra, I will always take the Fireproof Mantle. But anything else, most likely, I will go with Rocksteady because it gives you those openings for when you really want to dish out tons of damage. And then I also take an Affinity Booster. These two things are optional. You don't have to take these. It's completely up to you. Just remember that unlike most of my other builds for Insect Glaive, we do not have earplugs this time around, which is another reason why I highly recommend Rocksteady Mantle. Now, when it comes to decorations, on the Tyrannus Glaive 2, we have, unsurprisingly, the Elementalist Jewel, granting us that additional attack bonus because Tyrannus Glaive does not come with an activated element. On the Dragon King eye patch, we're going to be putting in a Tenderizer Jewel, maximizing our weakness exploit. On the Kushala Sister Beta, I'm going to be putting in a Critical Jewel 2. Now, this particular jewel is completely optional. You can put in whatever you want. I just put in the Critical Jewel because even though we're not going to be critting super often, we'll still do a decent amount of crits if we can manage to focus on the head, and we will deal 5% additional damage. Now, some of you might think, okay, why don't we go with the Maximum Might thing? Because I like the versatility of having Aerial Glaive as well as Ground Glaive, and in the footage that you guys are watching, you will see me transition often between going into the air, then coming right back down, and then attacking, and I don't want to be losing damage because I'm constantly going to be utilizing my stamina. So that's why we got a Critical Jewel in there instead of a Maximum Might or something else. On the Valazak Braces Beta, we're going to be putting in 2 Expert Jewels. Now, in the likely event that you do not have another attack jewel, I would just socket in another Expert Jewel because, as you guys can see, 2 Expert Jewels is going to increase our affinity by 6%, which is really not that much. It's just a little bit more. So, in all honesty, you can even trade this for something else. But essentially, getting to +4 attack is going to increase your affinity by 5%, and if instead of having an attack jewel in here, you put another expert jewel, you're still going to get 4% affinity. You're just not going to get those additional 3 attack. So, you know, if you don't have an attack jewel, don't stress. Put another expert jewel in here. If you don't want to go for the additional affinity that I went here, you can also put speed sharpening to make it faster for you to sharpen. These are a little bit optional, but personally, I like going for those 4 points in attack. So that's why we have an attack jewel in here. Then we have another attack jewel on Kolsteroth's Wrath Alpha. And then on the Nergigante Coil Beta, we have a sharp jewel, so that when we do sharpen, we still have 60 seconds when we're not going to be losing any sharpness whatsoever in the weapon to basically exploit that to deal as much damage as we possibly can. You then take a look at the finalized build, you'll notice that we have level 5 handicraft. Like I said, you only need 4, so if you have maybe a different type of combination that you want to do with this set and you don't want to use the Kushala Assist, you want to trade some stuff around, in order to get to wide sharpness on Tyrannus Glaive, you just need 4 handicraft. But having that 5, like I said, grants you that additional leeway for when you have to sharpen. We have level 4 attack boost, which is going to give you plus, I think it's plus 12 attack, and the 5% affinity. We have level 3 weakness exploit. We have level 3 peak performance, granting us 20 additional attack. And trust me, this makes such a difference. It is a beast. Then we have level 2 critical eye, granting us a little bit of additional affinity. You don't really need that. It's optional, but I would advise it. Then we have level 2 wide range, which is a byproduct of getting the Kolsteroth's Wrath Alpha. Then we have level 1 critical boost. Again, that is an optional thing. You can put that or you can put something else in there. It's completely up to you. We have protective polish and non-elemental boost. All in all, this build has been pretty surprising for me because it does allow me the entire versatility of the glaive. It's like you are not limited to ground glaive, you are not limited to air glaive. You can do them both. As a matter of fact, I love doing the combination of both, like setting up with aerial glaive, then swooping down on the monster and just like spamming ground glaive on him. I find that this particular playstyle works really well. If you want to focus more on aerial glaive, then maybe you want to take like a dash juice with you or something. Personally, I haven't really found the need to use that, but if you want to do more aerial glaive, you might want to bring a dash juice with you. And then when it comes to Kinsects, you do have a couple of options here. Naturally, one of the more popular choices is the Pseudo-Cath 3, which is going to come in with Sever, Blast, and it's got hella speed. Now, personally, I only tend to use Kinsects that have a lot of speed because I kind of feel that the Insect Glaive is supposed to be a fast weapon, so therefore, in order to complement that fast playstyle, I only really go for Kinsects that have high speed value. So naturally, Pseudo-Cath is one of the better ones, but a lot of people will tell you, this is the only Kinsect that you can possibly use. In my opinion, that is just flat out wrong. There are plenty of viable choices when it comes to Kinsect for using with this particular build. I'm going to have 4 recommendations for you. The first one, naturally, Pseudo-Cath 3 does blast damage, does a crap ton of damage. If you just want to go for sheer damage, he's a solid choice. However, there are other options. Now, the other one that I really like is Carnage Beetle 3. This is also, when it comes to dishing out damage, is a really good Kinsect. It's also got Blunt, so it can stagger monsters now and then if you hit him in the head a couple of times with it. But the cool thing is this is a poison Kinsect, leaves behind the dust of poison, and therefore if you're fighting monsters that are particularly weak to poison, this is going to be a really solid Kinsect to take with you, in my opinion. Then we have the Konkata Man 3. Now this is in case you want to bring a little bit more utility to your hunts, or just in case you're fighting a monster that's particularly susceptible to paralysis. This one's going to leave the paralysis dust effect. Again, it's got a decent amount of speed, and you will be able to paralyze your monster repeatedly if you bring in this bad boy. And finally, if for some reason you don't have health regen on your glaive, or maybe you're just playing with your friends and maybe your friends are a little bit on the noobish side and you want to help them out, you can bring out the Grand Cathar 3, and this is going to have the healing effect. So basically you'll be able to heal yourself, and that is going to basically keep that peak performance up and running the whole time. You'll also be able to support your friends a little bit if that's what you need as well. And it's just a great utility Kinsect as well. You're not going to be dealing as much damage as if you were bringing the Poison Kinsect or the Blast Kinsect, but you're going to be bringing tons of heals for your friends and heals for yourself if you don't have health regen on your glaive. But anyway, this is the Tyrannical Truck. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys enjoy my videos, always remember, hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell icon and then click notifications and then click all, because these are the steps that you now have to take in order to actually subscribe to someone. The end slate's going to be coming up. If you guys want to watch some more stuff in the channel, there will be a couple of suggestions for you there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.